Yes, man, no problem, no problem. I'm Art Mitchell, 38, from Charlotte, North Carolina. So I was diagnosed at age of 6 with an eye disease called keratoconus. And what keratoconus is how your eye, don't put eyes oval, but mine is football shape, like a football shape person in my pupil. And a lot of us at the age of 6, we outside playing in the sandbox, doing the jungle gym, and just playing hide and go see something a normal 6-year-old person would do. So at the age of 6, I was trying to see.
Erica Lynn Speaks podcast is a place where you can grow beyond your limitations and make an impact on the world. I am Erica Lynn. I will teach you how to take the restraints off of you, begin to live free, and become unstoppable. Go to ericalynnspeaks.com. I say Erica Lynn Speaks. Welcome. This is your girl, Erica Lynn, with Erica Lynn Speaks. I am so grateful that you guys are back with us for yet another positive, motivating, positive podcast where we're going to share all type of stories with you so that you possibly can see yourself in one of those stories and just feel motivated and inspired so that anything that you're going through in life, it's not going to hold you back. You're going to keep being able to keep moving forward. You're going to just step over those hurdles or fight whatever comes your way. So today I have a special guest joining me. You know, he too had hurdles that, any person who didn't have the strength and the courage that he does, they probably would have let it get the best of him, best of them, him, whatever. But he chose to persevere and keep moving forward. So join me, Arthur Mitchell. Hello, Arthur.
Hello, how you doing, Dr. Lane? How you doing?
I am wonderful. And so do you want me to call you Arthur or do you want me to call you something else?
No, you got Arthur's fine. Everybody call me Art Mitch, anyway.
Okay, I'm eclectic. I can hang with the best of them. But thank you for joining me on Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. You have a tremendous story, and I just appreciate you being able to come on the show and share your story. So with that being said, we could just get right down to it. Do you mind sharing with the listeners and the viewers a little bit about your background and, and your story?
Yes, man, no problem. I'm Arthur Mitchell, 38, from Charlotte, North Carolina. And about my story, like Dr. Lynn said, it's a very unusual story. Something that, that I myself, man, if it wasn't for having grace and having the mindset of wanting to go forward and be somebody great, no telling where I be. But I'm going to take y'all back down memory lane for a second. Close your eyes and remember and think about you when you're 6 years old. I know a lot of us at the age of 6, we outside playing in the sandbox, doing the jungle gym, and just playing hide and go see something a normal 6-year-old person would do. So at the age of 6, I was trying to see. So I was diagnosed at the age of 6 with an eye disease called keratoconus. And what keratoconus is how your eye, don't put eyes oval, but mine is football shape, like a football shape person in my pupil, allowing my vision to be blurry. And being diagnosed that with age of 6 was very unusual because something new. Me and my parents knew nothing about it, so we were just confused, like, where did it come from? How did it happen? And I found out it's very rare in the United States. It's only 1 out of 2,000 people in the U.S. that have it. So having it at the age of 6 was first unusual, but also finding out that this disease on occurring in people to like 15 to 21 on up. So having that, a lot of hurdles, a lot of obstacles, man, being able to see, went from glasses to contacts and just so many different things that, caused my life at a 6-year-old life to be different, I try to be normal, but having that vision problem, man, going outside of bed to see and be like a normal kid, she be very unusual for me. So just having that, being asked a lot of questions, being bullied, peer pressure, all because I couldn't see and nobody knew about it because I never explained it to them. So just having that, and then to where I'm at now, man, allowed me to really see the bigger vision of who I was and who I became to be.
Wow, that's fantastic. So one of the things I had said to you earlier was that I wanted to show the viewers an image of a keratoconus so that they can see it. So if you are listening to the podcast, then you can't see the image. But if you are watching the podcast on the YouTube channel, I am showing you an image of a healthy cornea which is like nice and round, you know, and then a keratoconus cornea, it kind of like, it bulges out. It kind of like bulges out. It's not like that normal shape that we're used to seeing. And because of the bulging, the light hits it in a different way, which causes vision issues.
Mm-hmm.
And so that caused you to have blurred vision. So the thing that fascinates me about you is I always say I'm blind as a bat, okay? I wear glasses. And I just want to say, I thank God that they came out with these new glasses where you can pay extra tons of money to have the real thin lenses.
Yeah, I know about those. I had those too. Yes, yes.
Yeah, because I probably would die if I had to walk around with Coke bottles. Even with paying for the extra thin lenses, my lenses are still thick. So if you stand on the side of me, you like,
Yes,
I had it. So I have on contacts now. So I've worn contacts on and off for many years, but I didn't stay in contacts because my vision is so bad. Usually contacts are either made to see far away or close up. If you want to see far away and close up, one contact has to be set to see far away and the other contact has to be set to see close. So now you kind of like this crazy a little bit. You know what I mean? It's almost like you disfigured in some type of way. You dealing with blurred vision. So thank God that they've come out with these new contacts called scleral. Have you heard of the scleral contacts?
I heard about scleral lenses in my Facebook group on Facebook. It's called Keratoconus Community, and that's what people are getting now. Scleral lenses, yeah.
Yeah. I have the pleasure of when I worked corporate, I worked at a vision company. I don't want to, put them on my podcast, but that's how I end up with the scleral lenses. They had sent an email out and was like, we need some test dummies. They didn't say it like that, but and so I was like, hey, me, because I know what it's like to have vision that you can't see that good. And so I volunteered for the scleral lenses. And the best part about the scleral lenses is I have 3 different visions in one lens. So in the middle, it's set for me to see far away. Or probably, and then you got like one layer around the edge where I can see a little closer and then a little closer. So they're like a 3-dimensional contact lens. They're fantastic. They're pretty expensive, but they're fantastic.
I heard a lot about them.
So I said all that to say, how do contacts work for you?
Miss Lynn, it didn't work for me. Like I started out with glasses at the age of 6, and it wasn't like they couldn't find a stronger prescription that help their vision get clear and precise so I could see better. So they went to contact lenses. And going to contact lenses, I ain't gonna lie, they worked. It had the hard one. So putting it on your actual pupil, the visual's clear. But the problem was it kept irritating my eyes. Yeah. Because I have low eyelids. So in having it irritated my eyes so much, where to the point that you don't need to wear contacts no more, it's not gonna help because I kept waking up. I probably kept on being scratchy. That I step on them, or something happened where I just when I was young, I broke a lot of contact lenses, and back then it was $40 a lens, so they made me higher now. Yeah. So it just didn't work for me as I thought it should. It should have worked, but because my eyelids, it wasn't the best thing for me. It kept I had problems with it.
Okay. So is the low eyelids, is that a result of the keratoconus, or that's just the way you were born with low eyelids?
No, that's a thing too. They never said, but I did ask them about it, and they just talked about it was like the nerve from my eyelids goes to my esophagus. Mm-hmm. So I don't know that it says you can have surgery for it, but I've been like this all my life, and it changed nothing different. So okay, I just been dealing with it, but people used to call me sleepy all the time because my eyelids stay low. Like, can you see me? I'm looking right at you. I can see you. So there's so much of that. So I don't know. It may be part of the keratoconus situation, but they never actually came. I just said that.
Yeah. Okay. But hey, you're doing good. And so overcoming having keratoconus, like, how were you able to push through this and not allow it to get you down and not to like fall victim into what everybody else say about you, but instead just like push forward and like, I want to be an example. This is not going to stop me. How were you able to do that? How were you able to pull all that up out of you?
Man, that's a story in that too. Well, I always know, I always been a class clown, so I always present act out. So back then, I used to get bullied a lot, asked a lot of questions, why you can't see, why the phone close to your face, why you got new glasses, they can't see. And at that time, I would just know, I didn't want to explain to nobody. I got keratoconus because at the age they wouldn't know, so I brushed it off. But what got me to that point, I had to first accept who I am. No, I had the keratoconus disease. I had that. It's not gonna get better, but stable. So now, what can you do to help others? Give off what you gave, so they can help others, man, succeed as well. And that's what I did. I realized who I was, and I got around the people that know that supported me and was like-minded and wanted success, and allowed me to push through my pain and turn into my purpose.
So you had a support system, is what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am.
And who was part of your support system?
Part of my support system, definitely my wife and my kids, and one of my biggest supporters. But I got in this group called Grandation. It's a personal development community out of Georgia. The CEO, my mentor is in Georgia, but people all over. And it's a group where we talk about personal development, and his thing always to work from the inside out. If you work on the inside first, then outward appearance of your life and business will get better. So having him and just showing him and having him and seeing his examples, and don't let the way you feel affect the way you flow. Allow me to understand, I got keratoconus, but this is not for you. It's for to help others. Seeing you become a good father, a good husband, an entrepreneur, an author, a teacher, creator, all those things are here, and they show me that you can do it no matter what it is, what you have. Don't let your past dictate your future. Now that's what I did. I did let that happen. I began to keep going and growing, and allow myself to really see the bigger picture of what I have, what I can do with it.
I like something that you said. Don't let the way you feel affect the way you flow. Got my first quote for the podcast. This to be in the show notes. I like that though. Don't let the way you feel affect the way you flow. Because so many people allow their feelings and their emotions. And don't get me wrong, you are allowed to have emotion and feelings, definitely. But you cannot allow your feelings and emotions to totally take over your body, to consume you to where you can't go over and function in regular everyday life. Because you're a prime example that you didn't allow your emotions to get the best of, because you could have just said, forget it. And I'm sure when kids are bullying you and calling you mean things, there's some names that you had to sit back and like, well, dang, am I really this? But because you had such a powerful, strong support system, you had your mom always telling you, you're handsome, you got this, you could do this, forget them old crazy kids. And so that gave you the confidence and the strength to help you move forward. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, man, I always didn't understand the reason why that's happened to me. Cause see people in stories be like, growing a shorter arm or having a leg, something different where it wasn't usual, but dealing with my eyes and having these, having 7 eye surgeries and dealing with, something going to your eye and you got your eye drop the rest of your life. So I didn't understand that, but God was here molding me and shaping me. See, I'm putting you out there so people can see that you want to live a witness of how, if you just believe in yourself and look past your fears and your doubts and what you have, you can make it. And he kept molding me and shaping me until I got older and then really realized, okay, yeah, this is it, and understand it wasn't about me. No, it was about giving back, what he gave me to others so they can understand the same thing too. And that's what I'm doing today.
Yeah, so let's speak about that, giving back. You was telling me when we were doing our pre-interview, the ways that you give back. And I was just like, enamored about the things that you do. But let's share with everyone else the ways that you give back.
Yes, man. Wow. One of the things I give back, I created a t-shirt brand called I Am. And I Am stands for I Am Art Mitch, and I have it on now. And I got affirmations. The affirmations are I am bold, I am smart, I am confident, I am determined, I am successful, and I am enough. And I truly believe that because we all are enough. No matter what we're going through, no matter the disability, mental or physical, what you're going through, you are enough. You are successful. And if you believe that and also have it on you and wear it, you then become internalizing your brain to change that mindset to want to go further in life.
That's right. That's what I like to tell my coaching clients when we go through the positive mind shift. I am beautiful. I am courageous. I am bold. When you put I am in the beginning of whatever else, then you feeling it, you thinking it, and you believe in it. And I like that. Where can I get a t-shirt? We'll go over that at the end. But okay. I I like that. I mean, because the power I am, it just really shifts your mind. Because shifting your mind is the thing that gets you through. Yes, when you stay in that trauma or that place, then those are the results that you're going to get. But when you shift your mind that the keratoconus is just something that happened to me, it is not me. I'm going to learn how to live with it and persevere beyond it. So now you're saying, I am going to do this. I am going to move past it. And so you've been telling yourself for a long time what you're going to do. And that's pretty powerful. You know, that's just great. That's like you know, sometimes people leave me speechless, and I appreciate when you leave me speechless. That means that you had something powerful to say that a lot of people can benefit from. And so now you mentor other keratoconus people, but they don't necessarily have to have keratoconus, correct, for you to mentor these young, because it's just men, or do young men, young women, or it's just people in general?
Well, one of my main focus is young Black males, but I can do males and females. That I also volunteer at this disability page called Champion House of Care. When they have men and women there, and they have different disabilities, autism, epilepsy, different things. So I do all. I coach them, and I have a book called 6 Tips to Cope with Having a Disability, and I use that book to coach my clients. I coach my mentor, let them know that we go through this process, setting who you are, creating a hobby, personal development. And I give them that book, and I give them a sheet to go through. So as they may have some situations and challenges, they go through this book and help them cope with the disability. Because sometimes, some people don't know how to cope with a disability. They may do different things, harm themselves, or anything can happen. But in this book, it's showing you how to cope with it, how to calm down, how to set who you are, how to create a hobby, how to find somebody that can support you, understanding who you are. And it helps you mentally get your mind focused and keep you going, and not letting the doubt or disappointment stop you from continuing being successful.
Wow. Because while you're talking, right, there's 2 things that come into mind. The first one is I've always gotten migraines really bad. And I didn't grow out of these migraines until I turned 35. Now, I still have little flutters, but they're not like they were when I was coming up. They started when I was about 16. I just remember going to work one day, and I worked at Dairy Queen. So I walked to work, and when I went into the building, the shift from the light change to being indoors, my head started hurting. I became sensitive to light, and I was real nauseated. So my boss said, well, here, sit down for a minute. They gave me an Advil and put a cold compress, but it wasn't getting any better. So they was like, well, you got to go home. So I remember walking all the way back home, and I made it home, barely made it home. And I just had enough strength to call my mom and say, Ma, they sent me home from work. I don't feel good. Do you know by the time my mother made it from her friend's apartment to our apartment, which was like down the hill a little bit, I was like passed out in the bed. So my migraine episodes will be so bad. The pain episode will be from like 4 to 6 hours, but the lasting effects will be like 2 to 3 days, from nausea, vomited, sensitive to light, and then I would just pass out on cold. Like either I would be hot or I would be cold. And so if you find me, I might be with no clothes on, completely no clothes on, laid out on the bathroom floor, because that would be the coolest place in the house, when I'm having a hot flash. Or then I would be extreme. And then right after, I would be so cold, I would be shaking. And this went on most of my life. I could be driving down the street and I just lose my vision. So my kids had to start learning how to drive at 12, 13 years old, because else we would be stranded on the side of the highway unless somebody came and pick us up. So I understand what it's like to have something that holds you back. So unlike you, even though my family poured into me on that aspect, I fed into that, meaning the first half of my life, I felt down. I didn't finish college at the first go around because on final exam day, I got up, I looked just like this. Opened the door, the sunlight came and hit my eyes. I had to close the door, go get back in the bed. At 18, the professors didn't know anything about migraines. So I failed the final exam. So I had to drop out of school. You know what I mean? So you just never knew when it was coming on. So to see you persevere beyond all of that, to see you help people beyond all of your struggles is phenomenal, because I just remember telling my story for the very first time in public, and the young lady sitting in the back of the classroom crying because she was like, afterwards, Erica, I have those same episodes and I didn't know anybody else deal with what I dealt with. So you just don't know when you're sharing your story how that's helping someone. So to tie it into my second point, when you sharing your story, it could be a young man that just came to the Keratoconus Center or the center, your youth center, and you telling your story, and he's sitting back there like, dang, I didn't know that I was going to be able to have a future. I didn't know that I was going to be able to push past this and move forward. And I can promise you, every time after you finish speaking, they come up to you and go, hey man, can we talk? Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. I had a young lady the other day on Facebook. She heard me on another podcast because of with my story. She put on Facebook, said, because of Arthur Mitchell, I'm not able to go forth. I got keratoconus too. And I was fear of anxiety and doubt and the way I look for glasses. But now I know what he's been through. I'm not able to push through. So I was like, man, wow. So it happens.
Well, that makes me see. And now we're going to have a whole nother list of viewers that get to listen to your story, because I really hope that this bless someone, because even if you don't have keratoconus, you could have some type of eye disease, vision problem. Like you could be walking around with Coke bottle glasses and you just like too ashamed to go outside because people, like we said before, people are cruel and they making fun of you, but you're beautiful. You're handsome. You are whoever you want to be. So don't let it stop you. Keep moving forward. Ain't that right, Arthur?
That's right. Gotta keep moving. No matter what, like the disability doesn't disqualify you. You still smart. You still human. No matter what they may say, no matter even how you feel. Because again, not about you, it's about helping the next person. Because you may tell your story or be around somebody that may have it. They know, like, wow, she had it, he had it. Now they give them positive feedback. So definitely, man, keep going no matter what. Whatever mental or physical. I believe because disabilities can be behavior problems. Anything you may dealing with that you can't control is a disability. So just be able to understand who you are. Really, really understand that. No, not about you. Yes, it happened to you, but now what can you do from it? Life is all about lessons and adjustments. Once you get a lesson, find an adjustment, and then go forward.
Oh, you got 2 quotes. Oh, you're just one of the best podcast guests ever. Because when I be writing them show notes in this section, I got quotes from the pod. I be like, this person didn't quote nothing. Oh, I'm gonna have fun doing it. Don't matter. I'm like this all the time, and that's what I had to learn how to be okay with this, because when I first started doing podcasts, they're like, you ain't supposed to act like this. Then I realized that this is who I am. I have a serious side, but I'm silly. And people like you for who you are. Definitely. No matter what form you come in. But if you show up as a fake person, if I show up, all intellectual and, then y'all gonna see right through that, because that's just not me. I'm not saying that I'm not smart but I'm just not, I
understand what you're saying.
Because the term I want to use, I had to catch myself and realize I couldn't use that term. So anyway, I want to go to this next point. This next point is so important to me. Now, I have an older brother, and 2 years ago, my sisters and I had went on a family trip. And by the time we got back from the family trip, which was a Friday night, I want to say a Thursday night or a Friday night. No, it was a Sunday night. I'm sorry, because we went for the weekend. And so we dropped my mother off at home, and she went in the house. My brother went upstairs and went to his room and went to bed. At 6 o'clock in the morning, she heard a stumbling. And she was like, Willie, and she runs in the bathroom, and he's on the floor in the bathroom. Mm. My brother had suffered a stroke that day. And because he had a pacemaker, not a pacemaker, but a defibrillator inside of him, that's the only thing that kept him alive. So he had had a stroke on top of having a bad heart. So now speed the story up. He's had 2 strokes, and he just had an LVAD surgery. And the LVAD surgery, if you don't know what LVAD is, I can't tell you the technical term, but it's a machine that's put inside of your body. They crack open your ribs, put the machine on your heart. You have tubes coming out your body. It beats your heart for you. So at night, you have to be plugged into the socket. Oh, wow. And during the day, you got to be plugged into the battery pack. So there was times where he probably felt like, I just don't want to do, because he's a young man. My brother's just turned 50, September 7th. And so just imagine going through this in your 40s, 2 strokes. So I know that you had went through having strokes yourself. So tell us about, how was that for you? And how were you able, because I don't even see any signs of you having a stroke. You don't have a slurred vision, your arm ain't tell us, sister, what you did. So I can give my brother some of this.
To be honest with you, Lynn, man, it was nothing but the grace of God. Literally, I hear stories about strokes all the time, and my mom had 5 strokes, her whole left side numb. My boy mom had a stroke, her whole left side numb. My brother mom had a stroke, her left side numb. So, and another lady I just from my old church had a stroke, her side numb. And for me to having 2 strokes and still be walking, talking straight, I can't get no credit but the guy. It's just him. He did it. No, literally, he did it. He really pulled us out, because this very rare. From what I heard, it's very rare. No, 1 stroke can take you out. It's death. But having 2 strokes and surviving the element, it was nothing but grace of God. That's all I can say. That I get no credit, no doctor's credit. It was nothing but God. He put me through this, and I'm very grateful.
Yes. Wow. That's just fantastic. And so, I want you to tell my brother, his name is Willie. Okay. Tell my brother, because he has an opportunity now that, he always had a bad heart most of his life, but we didn't know that it was inherited through my dad's side. So my mom just took him to the hospital today for some tests, and the doctor said that he may finally be a candidate for a heart transplant. So I just want you to tell him about pushing through, and how you push through, and how he can overcome this. And if he if he used those positive I ams, how he can talk himself into healing and walking himself into that heart transplant.
Yes, man. I want to tell you, Brother Willie, man, first of all, man, praise God, because you're definitely an overcomer, survivor, but you still be alive. So that right there let you know, man, God has definitely got a purpose for you. So as you turn your parents in purpose, remember one thing, that this was a situation, a lesson for God to help you and help others, because there's gonna be many people out there that may have this upon this time, and how you push through it, you understanding accept that you had it, and you're dealing with it. But remember always how God brought you out of it and continue to bring out of it, to let you know that you are still here for a reason. I tell people, man, when you're still here for a reason, after a situation like something happened bad, it's a purpose to that. Turning your parents a purpose. Yes, we had sleepless nights, 2-stroke survival, but God was molding us and giving us the ability now to go out and bring forth a word, bring forth a message. Everybody has a unique life experience. And having that experience, it gives you the ability to go out there and speak to others, bless others, and heal others. And always tell yourself, I am healed. I am here. I'm alive. I'm a God's child, and I'm here to serve a purpose to get other people out there that don't know what's going on, how to get through it, a reason to live, and to live to be successful and create impact across the world, across the nations.
Wow. Hallelujah. You got me over here shouting like I'm in church. Thank you, Arthur, so much for coming on this podcast and sharing your story and motivating, inspiring, uplifting somebody who is definitely going through something right now. You're going through something right now, and you needed to hear these words. You needed to know that you are normal, you are healed, and you can overcome. So I want you to tell everybody, how can they buy the t-shirt? How can they find you? If they want you on their podcast, if they want you to speak at their center, if they just want you, how do they find you?
Yes, ma'am. For when you can also, for the shirt and for my book, you can get me www.artmitch.com. That's artmitch.com. You can reach me on also on Instagram at successfularthur. And how you can reach me for any seminars, podcasts, conferences, you can reach me at info@artmitch.com. And I can reach me there. And also for my email is zedginspirations@gmail.com as well.
Wow, that's fantastic. So when you guys get the podcast out, when it comes out, in the show notes, you'll have links to all ways to reach Art Mitch, because you may have a group home or a center and you want somebody to come and speak life into the people, to the children, to people, period. Then he is a true testimony. He went through his test and now he's a testimony. See, this is things that I talk about all the time. In order to have a testimony, you got to go through your test. Yes, so when you go through your test, you sit back and you let God do the rest, because trust me, he will do the rest. And then you'll be standing up here on my podcast telling me about your test and your testimony. Yes, hey, can I get an amen? Amen. But and so with that being said, like as I always talk to the people that listen to me all the time about the brokenness that we feel inside, going through something as keratoconus and having strokes and having just abuse and battle. See, like when I talk about struggles or limitations and obstacles that you face, it doesn't necessarily always have to be that you were abused. These are obstacles that hold you back, because in your mind, it tells you that you can't go forward and you feel sad, you want to cry, you feel broken, you like, why God, why me? So these are things that I talk about when I say it is so important to heal your core, to fix you, to help you become motivated and shift your mind so that you can move forward. Because if you don't fix the brokenness, the cracked foundation, then it's going to be hard for you to go forward. And as you go forward in life, you're going to kind of go forward with a limp, in a sense, meaning you're going to make bad choices or bad decisions, or you're going to think that I'm not good enough. This is not for me. I don't belong in this room. I don't deserve this job. Why would somebody want to hire me because I have keratoconus? Or why would somebody want to hire me because I have 2 strokes? And so what? I got a limp. I still can do the job. So this is what Art and I do. We help fix your core and help you build on and expound on and make it strong so that you can move forward. And so if you guys want to get a free consultation, then you just go to ericalynnspeaks.com/free consultation. And we just going to chat. We're going to talk about how we're going to help heal the brokenness in you so that you don't let these obstacles hold you back and you can show up big and bold in your life and be whatever it is that you want to be. Art is a prime example, because you definitely don't look like what you've been through.
I appreciate it. Praise God. Praise God. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. You guys listen out, look out for the show notes so that you can find Art, follow him on Facebook, on Instagram, go to his website, and just show him some love. Show a brother some love, and get you an I Am t-shirt, because I'm definitely going to get me one. And I'm going to rep it on the show. I am beautiful. Tell her. Yeah. And you know why I own that and I glow in this? Because I never, I don't care if you did think I was conceited, but, I own this and I glow in it because I didn't always feel this way. Mm-hmm. I felt broke down. I felt abused. I felt battered. I felt like stepped on and crushed, and just as if there was no purpose for me in life. And because I did my work and I healed and I am where I am, I own this, baby. I feel wonderful. And now my job is to help you own yourself and own what you went through so that you can show up as a bright light in this world and make a difference and change somebody else's life.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So I am Erica Lynn. And just remember, it only takes just one step beyond you. God bless you. I'll see you guys on the next
brought to you by EricaLynnSpeaks.com. Sign up for your free consultation today at EricaLynnSpeaks.com/work with me. And just remember, it only takes just one step beyond you.
Beyond you. I say Erica Lynn Speaks.